Hey everyone, I'm Jocelyn. I'm a secondary education student. I'm an English major and a social minor.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm in my third year of arts education with a visual art major and a drama minor.
So tonight we're going to talk about virtual field trips or virtual museum tours, and we're going to do it using an app called LiveBinder.
So our first screencast here is going to be just showing you how to use LiveBinder because we thought it was a super awesome resource.
Basically, what LiveBinder is, it's a 3-ring binder, and just to show you, this is our binder for the project.
So in LiveBinder you can make multiple tabs and then you got sub-tabs underneath each of them. So these were the ones that we used here, but you'll be able to look at those later on your own.
So this one, we're just going to show you how to make your own binder. So you start by going to start a blank binder. And that loads.
There we go.
Okay, sorry, we're doing the audio at the different time we did the screencast. So basically, you call your binder whatever you want. I called it ECMP, we called it test, and the tags are just so people can search it later. So I've got tech, ed,
whatever your binder's about, really.
And then you get to pick your category, so I picked education.
Then you can choose if it's public or private. So public is just that anyone on livebinders.com or on Google can search it and find it. Private, however, is when you make it so it's only available to people who have the link. But when you select private, you also have to put a access key or a password for it. So for our binder, for example, since it was for an assignment, we don't necessarily want to share it with the world, so we made a key for ours, which we will be posting along with our entire project the day before our project is due.
So yeah, you can search for different topics, as I showed you quickly. So I guess the access key is also nice when you have students. You can just give certain students access to this binder, other students access to another binder. Okay. So yay, welcome to your first binder. So
it's pretty bare, but they give you a few tabs just to get you started, and you can rename them quite easily.
So basically, LiveBinder gives you your initial tabs and then your tabs underneath. If you had a paid account, you can have another level of tabs, but we went with the free account. There's 2 other upgrades you can get, and basically they just give you more binders and more storage.
So once you add your own tabs, then you can rename those as well, and you can choose colors for everything, as you may have seen in ours. Ours was more colorful than this.
So we're gonna call pick up first tab. So we're gonna do puppies, and then we're going to go into our first sub-tab, and we're going to
find something to put in it.
So I'm just going to Google puppies.
Now the way this works is that you pick web pages, and it's basically a place to keep all your web pages, like a bookmarking program of sorts.
Yeah. So it's really nice because you get to go paperless, and you can have access to your resources wherever you are, as long as you have internet. So we found this awesome video. It's funny puppy videos. We're going to use that one to start with. So we copy the link, we're going to go back into our binder, and we just paste it.
Now the thing with some of these bigger companies on the internet, such as YouTube
or Twitter,
Twitter also did the same thing, is that it won't let you place the actual page. As you see here, it says that the owner of the web page has made it unavailable for viewing any other way. So here, for the YouTube video, it still has the link, so you can still make it accessible to students or to other people so they can still see it. However, YouTube won't let us actually use it. So we'll find a page for you here that can be used just from one of our own blogs.
A couple weeks ago, I actually did a blog on LiveBinder. It's called It's Just Like Christmas for Lesson Planning. It's a quote I took from my roommate, who's also in education. So just let it load.
We actually made this screen test with iMovie, which we didn't know we could do, so that was pretty cool, not having to download a program. So if you have a Mac, it's super easy.
We recorded the screencast with QuickTime Player, though, and then we're adding our audio with iMovie. So I just paste the link, hit insert, wait a bit, and there you go. There's my blog.
So it's just like the window is all there, and it's just like you're viewing in its own window. And if that's something you do want to do, there's a button that says go to site, and when you have your binder viewed by other people, it says the same thing. So you can go to the actual site if that's what you want to do, but you can also just stay here and not actually leave LiveBinder and have all your stuff there, just so you can look at the page you actually need and then maybe go to another tab after.
So like this, I found a Prezi that another teacher did. It's also available in our other binder, and it just talks about how to use LiveBinder. So yeah, now we're going to show you how to add a Google Docs into your binder.
So Google Docs are good because sometimes you might not want the actual web page, right? And you want to just write stuff. So that's where Google Docs comes in with LiveBinder, and they tell you to do it. It's not just us deciding that. That's something that the LiveBinder tutorial tells you to do. So you can do it one of two ways. One of them is where you can actually edit it, and another one is where you actually publish it so people can look at it like it's just an HTML web page. But for this purposes, we're just going to do the editing one because that's kind of cool if you wanted something for people to contribute to first. So here we have what do you like about puppies? So you could put that on there and have people actually write their comments straight up there.
So it's like an example of this that we're using in our real LiveBinder. We have a guest book for you guys to fill out. Just if you guys have questions or comments, you guys could leave your name and your question or comment. That'd be awesome.
So then you just want to go to sharing just like normally do. I mean, all of us hopefully know how to use Google Documents by this point because it is a wonderful tool, and if you don't, I suggest you look at it right now. So you just want to make the link, and for some reason it wouldn't let me at first, but it did immediately after. And you want to set it once you do get the link to anyone can edit. Because if you have it anyone can view, then it's just the weird Google Doc. You'll have the whole Google Doc page, which isn't aesthetically nice to look at. So if you want it to edit, do it this way. But if you want it to view, then I would recommend actually publishing your Google document page. So now once you've posted it, it's just like, once again, it's the window of the internet page, but then you can edit it straight here. You don't have to leave it to go to the actual site. You can write right on it, right on LiveBinder.
Another cool thing you can do with LiveBinder is you can actually upload like Word documents in that. We chose not to do that because with the free account you have a very small amount of storage, and not that these web pages take anything up, but we just didn't want to push it and see where we can go with it. But if you have a paid account, you can have students upload presentations or Word documents or questions or things like that.
And while reading other people's blogs and looking at videos about this tool, you also see that there's actually a discount for educators, like lots of websites have. Mm-hmm. So we're not sure the exact number, but it is fairly cheap apparently. If you have proof of your teaching contract and whatnot and you send it in, then you can get it very cheap for a yearly price. Mm-hmm.
So another thing you can do with LiveBinders that's kind of cool is you can comment. So as you saw, I just made a comment, awesome. And I can title my comments. So anyone can do this if they have the access code or if you've made it public for the world to see.
And under editing, you can see that there is a delete button. So although it doesn't ask for any names or anything like that, if someone says something awful, you can just easily delete it right here.
Yeah. So it's a great tool for your personal learning network because you get to see how other educators in like different parts of Canada or different parts of the world are doing the same course as you are, and you can comment and ask them questions. And hopefully they'll respond.
And you may have just noticed in the corner it says your binder has saved successfully. Just like Google Docs, it saves periodically, which is very nice because then you don't really have to worry about it saving all the time. You might want to save before you leave, obviously, because it does only do it every 5 minutes or so. But and you can also work on it with separate people. If we were working on ours on 2 different computers, and all it would say is just please reload the page because someone else is working on it too. That way you could see everything.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's also a feature to collaborate, but we thought it was a paid feature only. That's where I had originally heard, but it's not. So there's also a nicer collaboration tool. We just didn't use it, unfortunately.
So right now we're showing what it actually looks like when you present. So this is what it'll look like when you share the link. This is how it looks when you're not logged in as the person who owns it. So this is what everyone would see once we share it, and what you'll see when we share our own.
And then there's the button for the comments, so you just click on it, and you can see the review I made. Other people can comment. So I think the last thing we just want to do before we finish this is show you that you can search for other people's binders. So sorry about my screen, it keeps going wonky. So there's all these categories you can search for. You can search by subject, and then you can search by grade, and then just specific grade schools.
And this whole thing is just under education. So there's all the subjects, the grades, school levels, all that stuff, and that's just education.
Yeah.
There's recipes, there's...
it's kind of like Pinterest.
Yeah. Well, with binders.
Yeah, with binders instead of pin boards.
And you use web pages instead of necessarily pictures or whatever you do on Pinterest.
Yeah. So I chose to search for history, so we're just going to click on this one guy's binder. And you can see his is a lot more developed than the one we just showed you, but it's basically the same. Like, he's got all his tabs, you can see he has a video, and I can click on one of these, and it will show me the page right in LiveBinder. And yeah, I'm going to go right to it. So I think that's basically all we've got for you on LiveBinder. So this is our first screencast. We're doing another one on just our virtual museums. So be sure to check that one out.
And this is definitely an awesome resource, so you should also check it out while you can.
See you guys.